Hey guys, welcome back to Operation Arsenal. You're going to have to believe me, I am wearing an Arsenal shirt. I just really didn't want to put on all the lights and the camera and, I'm just going to do a pretty chill video here talking about what we've seen tonight, which ultimately is a good result, but not the best performance. So looking at what's happened throughout the last 96 minutes or whatever it was, it is a Kieran Tierney goal that sends us through in first place. So we will be going through to the next stage of the Europa League. It's not where we want to be right now, but we're in this competition. We're going to win it. And then next season, the fun begins in the Champions League, right? That's the idea. But Kieran Tierney to the rescue today. It was a very underwhelming performance yet again in Europe. Some players are being carried in this team, and I'm going to be talking about those players today. But we can't really complain about the result. It's a 1-0 win. We've rotated the squad quite heavily. And like I said, we're through. That's literally all that matters. So it was in the first half that Tierney scored the only goal of the game. And it was a really well taken half volley, I guess, just outside the box. And the celebration, it was a beautiful thing to see. Tierney effectively has been our third choice left back this season. Do you know how mental that sounds? If Tomiyasu and Zinchenko have both been getting game time ahead of Tierney at left back, that genuinely makes him third choice, which I believe to be a little bit unfair on Tierney. Over the last few years, I think back to the Emery era, Tierney was one of our best performers. And actually, I remember very clearly when Arteta first joined, his tactic was to get the ball out wide to Tierney and cross it in for Lacazette or Aubameyang. And yeah, it seems a bit unfair to me that Tierney all of a sudden is so out of favour, but that's just purely because of the squad depth getting better, improving with the signings. But Kieran Tierney did very well indeed today. Very happy to see him get the goal and man of the match. In terms of the other performances in the squad, there's a few names to talk about. I think Lokonga had a slightly better game, but not really. I do worry that Lokonga, I think it's more of a mental thing. I think he thinks he's further ahead in his game than he actually is. He should be turning up against a team like Zurich and bossing midfield, but he just didn't. Great to see El Neni back in the squad after a long injury, and of course Vieira playing as well. I feel like it was more of a 4-4-2 today, by the way. Yeah, it was a little bit of a strange one. I wasn't sure if it was a 4-4-2 or if it was more of a 4-3-3 whenever we got the possession. And Ketia was quite literally out on this left wing, which again I don't really think he plays his best football there. But we wanted Jesus. Clearly he needed a goal today. He couldn't get it, but no one could get a goal. It felt like there were so many chances and we were very wasteful. Tomiyasu though, this is a really, really haunting image here, right here. Right here? Who says that? 73 minutes, he comes on. 88 minutes, he comes off. He's got an injury, and he's just recently been called up. Well, he's already playing for Japan, but he has been put in the World Cup squad. So I'm really nervous to discover what that injury is going to be. If he misses, I mean, obviously missing the Chelsea game on Sunday is huge, but if he misses the World Cup, he's one of their best players, and that would be awful. Really, really sad. Good to see Cedric get some minutes as well. I'm a big fan of his, not footballing wise, but him as a character. He's such a good guy. And I'm sad that we had to get Partey, Saka and Ødegaard on. But hey, look, we got the job done, guys. And we are going through. We can see the stats here. It wasn't awful. It just wasn't that exciting, was it? Unfortunately, that's what it's come down to. We've got the result, right? But then, was it a fun game to watch? Not really. And it was very nervy at the end. I didn't enjoy the final 15 minutes or so. But thankfully, that is now, let's have a look. It was 12, yeah. So Patrick Timmons, big fan of his on Twitter. You should check out his Twitter page. 12 home wins in a row. First time since 2009. Do you know how remarkable that is? 12 home wins in a row. We're making it a fortress. But anyway, as usual, I do the Operation Arsenal tweet. You guys can reply to it, and sometimes I will pick your message. And I spelt it correctly this time, which is good. So 1-0 to the Arsenal. Thoughts on that performance? Wasn't the best, but we're through. Important thing is we've topped the group. Sooner we get out of this competition, the better, says Zach. Very true, and I share that sentiment. I said it myself. We don't want to be here right now, But we are here right now, and at least we're winning games, right? Next comment, not a bad first half. Should have scored 3 at least, but weren't clinical. Yeah, agreed. So many chances in the first half. Vieira in particular, which you've mentioned here, he had multiple good opportunities to score. But he should be complaining that he doesn't start. He was poor. Last 20 minutes were shocking, but did the job. I want it to be more than just did the job, though. I want a really solid performance against a team that we should be smashing. Let's be honest. We should be absolutely wiping the floor with Zurich, who are a good team, but they're not a great team, you know? Next one coming in from T-Neg. I don't know how to pronounce your name, mate. Sorry about that. Was at the game, and I just want to say I hope UEFA look into the Zurich fans because they were brilliant for supporting their team, but awful for safety. But I'm happy we dodged the extra games. This is the key thing, guys. If we finished in second place, we'd have to play extra games. At least now, you know, with this Europa League reshuffle with the rules and stuff, finishing in first place, you're straight through. So that's really good. But I've picked this comment because I did see it was pre-match, but flares were being thrown. And, you know, when I went to the Emirates a couple of weeks ago, they search your bags, they search what's on you, what's in your pockets, things like that. I've got no idea how someone is getting a flare into the stadium, but it's so frustrating. I get you want to support your team, and I get that you want to make it into a spectacle, and flares are also, you know, a part of making things a spectacle, right? It's an atmospheric thing. But no, it's horrific for the players. Remember, they need to be able to see what's going on the pitch. And you could see within the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, it was so foggy, and I hate that. But it is dangerous as well. You have to literally light these things on fire. So please don't take flares to the game, and I'm sure UEFA will look into it. There's no way they'll get away with that. It's a shame, really. We had seats ripped up, didn't we, as well, against PSV. So, yeah, the poor Emirates is taking a battering from fans around the world. Breadstick AFC. What is this picture? Hang on. That is literally breadsticks. Incredible. Amazing. 3 points and we move. Good that we've topped the group. With Tommy going off injured, KT starts on Sunday. In my opinion, he was brilliant today. Do you know what? I would have made the argument that he deserves to start anyway. I think Tomiyasu has done a very good job down that left side, but I think it's a very situational thing. It's very good against... When we played Liverpool, it was great against Salah with the cross-field passes from Van Dijk, you know, those huge diags. But against Chelsea, I'm not so sure it'd be that good, actually, with the wing-back system they play. So I actually think Kieran Tierney should start regardless, but it does seem like Tommy's picked up an injury, so we'll see what happens. And then finally, TP, being Thomas Partey, key midfield ingredient. Kieran Tierney cooked up a storm tonight. The crazy thing is he's been our third choice. When the club signed Zinni, he could have dropped his head, but he's been brilliant every time he's been called upon. Still one of the best. I mean, the guy is 25 or 24, and he's a very experienced player. And funnily enough, he's one of the most experienced players in the team. I mean, he's got 60 games in Europe, I think it is. So it's unbelievable, isn't it? He's so young, yet he's played so many games. Of course, when he was at Celtic up in Scotland, he was playing week in, week out in the Champions League. And yeah, he's a great player, and I've never, ever doubted Tierney's qualities. He's just, unfortunately, very, very injury-prone, and we have reinforced in that position, and he's had to battle with Zinni and Tommy. So I think that's it for this review, though, guys. There really isn't too much to discuss other than the fact that we've topped our group, which we can go ahead and check here. We can see what's happened elsewhere. So Group A, of course, Arsenal go through with just the 1 loss, 5 wins. Very, very good. The worrying thing for me, though, is just 8 goals. I mean, when you're seeing PSV scoring 15, that's a worry. It really is. Fenerbahce and Stade Rennais are going through, but, well, I should say Stade Rennais are going to be into the knockout playoff things, whatever you want to call them. But Fenerbahce are through. Real Betis are through. I'm surprised Roma haven't topped that group, to be honest. This is the story, though, isn't it? Look at this group. This is unbelievable. Union Berlin, top of the Bundesliga right now, only finishing in second place. Of course, Real Sociedad lost to Man United tonight, but it wasn't enough to drop into second place. So United will have some more fixtures. But this actually might be just the most incredible group. Look at this. Every single team on 8 points, but Feyenoord go through on goal difference. Well, it's not goal difference. It's who is head to head, isn't it? It's who won which games against each other. Group G, Freiburg go through quite comfortably. Group H, Ferencváros. I have no idea. Who is that? Where do they play? Hungary. So well done to them. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching as usual. Operation Arsenal will be back on Sunday for the big one against Chelsea. Ooh, that's a spicy game.